And again, Haiti, one of these nations that in international news, people typically hear about it when there's the latest political chaos. And a land known for political killings, Haiti. So they're saying there's a manhunt for the killers. They're saying they've killed 4 people and arrested 2. And if you have any eye for patterns, you probably noticed something about the 4 and 2. And we're going to get into what that is. What's with this number 42 in Black history? And if there is something sinister going on, who's behind it? Like, who's really behind this assassination? And again, it's very clear to see when you know the knowledge of the New World Order, Jesuit order killers, the language of gematria. It's very easy to see through their rituals. So we're just going to go over today's news, go over a few things we've talked about in recent times, and then just read a little bit of my most recent book, because it's so interesting how on page 24 I talk about the exact same pattern that we have in today's news. And also throughout that book, beyond just page 24, I point out the same pattern over and over. It's just even early in the book's about 400 pages, the same pattern we're about to talk about, it's identified in the early pages of the book, and it being evidence of how the Jesuit order, which is the New World Order, operates. So, notice the man who has been assassinated, Jovenel Moise. His name in gematria is 144 and 54, just like Jesuit order. If you're new here, it equals 144 when you use the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. It equals 54 when you use the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. Numerology just means you make all the letters that have more than a single digit number, you compress them to a single digit. So Z, the 26 letter, would be 2 plus 6 is 8. 26, Z, the 26th letter, 26 is 2 plus 6 is 8. Its numerology is 8. The numerology of 26 is 8. The numerology of 25, which is Y, the 25th letter is 2 plus 5 is 7. Y is 7. X, the 24th letter is 2 plus 4 is 6. X is 6, thus XXX is 666. But anyway, Jovenel Moise, 14454, just like Jesuit order. There's so many Jesuit rituals with these numbers in the world of politics worldwide. Case in point, Jesuit Georgetown simulated on June 12th, 2020, that Joe Biden, Jesuit Joe from Scranton, Pennsylvania, the Jesuit town that it is, one of the nation's big Jesuit prep schools there, but they simulated at Jesuit Georgetown 144 days before the election that Biden would win, Trump would refuse to step down, say that he was cheated, and it would lead to physical, deadly violence in America, which is your capital insurrection. And there's a whole lot more to all of that, but President Biden 144, not an accident. Trump's Jesuit educated. They're all Jesuit puppets. So people don't get. They're like, I want Trump back. Why? He's just a Jesuit puppet. You care about your sock puppet? A lot of you do. It's too bad. You're not awake. Anyway, the other...
I'm going to have to pause, Zach, real quick to say, they've been playing us on such a big scale that you're still being distracted, but I'll let him finish.
Where Jovenel Moise and Jesuit order are the exact same, those are our 2 most important classic ciphers, the original 2 that I learned from Manly P. Hall's The Secret Teachings of All Ages. What we learned 3 years into the research was to run the alphabetic order in reverse with the rules of numerology. If you write his name with the, language appropriate accent, his name also has a numerical value of 54. Because those accents make it a null value, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse numerology, his more authentic name, if you will, is also 54, you see? And we're going to talk more about where 54 goes beyond the Jesuits, because it's just so easy to see what has happened here. It reminds me of the death of Kofi Annan, which I might get into as well. But look at this. With regards to the Jesuits, he is dead on July 7th. The assassination was Wednesday, July 7th. That is the day leaving 177 days left in the year. The Jesuit order 177, New World Order 177. The difference is putting the on the front of the title, which is absolutely fair when you pay attention to the fact that they use these numbers interchangeably, very ritualistically, again and again. The Jesuit order is a more proper title. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, New World Order is 177, and you think about the Jesuits saved by Catherine the Great, whose husband was assassinated on July 17th, 17/7, also in the month of July. The month in tribute to Rome and their leader. And of course, we're on the Roman Catholic calendar, and English is also credited to them as well. All of this stuff is synced up. This is why these types of rituals go on year after year with the exact same patterns. But with regards to 177 and 54, just where we're beginning, I just want to go to my latest book, and I just want to go to page 24, and I just want you to understand, I'm making the case that people need to wake up to this code, the patterns these people work by, how they control the world's populace, how they're sinister, how they use murder to force their agendas, and it is clear as day, it is these people. And again, this same pattern is all throughout the book, but I just wanted to see where I first mentioned 177 in my latest book. And then I noticed right after I wrote about 177, I wrote about 54 and outfits. And again, it's just the same stuff over and over. So let me see. I think I need to make that bigger somehow. That's more like it. Okay. So bottom of page 24. Again, it's this book right here. Number Games, 9/11 to Coronavirus. Finished writing that about a year ago. But just reminding, also relevant to the discussion is the fact that from the Jesuits being recognized by Rome in 1540 to the establishment of modern Freemasonry as 1717 is 177 years later. And where the Jesuit order equates to 177 with simple English, New World Order equates to 177 with reverse simple. And again, you got to know the ciphers both ways, which I'll make a point about in just a second. But you notice just right down the page, you're just reading, and then boom, just right here, sentences later. Even with the newer name, Washington, it still has a heavy Jesuit presence due to Georgetown University, the first Jesuit university established in the United States by John Carroll when he was 54 years of age, on January 23rd, 1789. It matters that he was 54, born January 8th, 1735, because John Carroll and Jesuit order both equate to 54 in Pythagorean gematria. Furthermore, the number 54 is symbolic in terms of time. This is because we're on the Gregorian calendar, a solar calendar, and the word sun sums to 54 in simple English gematria. If you're not aware of the Jesuit logo, it is the sun. So, just... And all throughout the book, just the same types of points and patterns made all throughout history. But here we are, and we're talking about the assassination of Mr. 54 on the day leaving 177 days left in the year, when this number is already connected to assassinations in history, including Catherine the Great's husband, Catherine the Great, who supposedly saved the Jesuit order by saving the 201 Jesuits. And remember, Captain Tom of the UK, who died this year, he was knighted last year on July 17th, 17/7, like 177, and he died on February 2nd, 201 days later. The Jesuit orders 177 forwards, 201 in reverse. Catherine the Great's husband dies on 17/7, and then she defies the Pope and protects the order with the power of Russia, preserving the order with 201 Jesuits. All throughout history, these numbers coming together. We've covered it so many times in so many different ways. But again, Catherine the Great, the funny thing about that show, well, there's a lot of things that are funny about it. But the actress they got to play her name equals 54 with the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, and when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with the rules of numerology. The actress they got for Catherine the Great, her name equals 54 both ways. 54 forwards and backwards. John Carroll, 54 in the most pure cipher, establishes the first Jesuit university. Georgetown at age 54. You know what I mean? Sun 54 in the most simple cipher, right? It just makes too much sense, right? Why they use these numbers, these rituals, these patterns. 54 in numerology is 9. Pythagoras said 9 represented God. God, the Son of God, the Word Son, Son in the sky, male offspring. Anyhow, Mr. Jesuit Order is dead on a very Jesuit date. And is he really dead? That's the other question, you know? Is he even dead? Or is this just the way they run the show in Haiti? Constant chaos. And again, this is a major psychological operation on the people, you know? Man, God forbid I run for office, man. I don't want to die. I mean, nobody even wants to be in power. It's way too dangerous. Who fills in the void? The same people keeping everybody suppressed with their tactics. And that's what these people are, the master of tactics, a military order, a well-established order that's worldwide, that operates large and in charge in each nation because of the Catholic Church who they serve. These ciphers, you know, Port-au-Prince, what a name, right? It's got the 69 in it. Notice when you write out New World Order, 69 as well. When you write out the Jesuit Order, 69 in it as well. Again, the cipher, these are the 4 base ciphers. All of these methods are so important. He's dead in the time of Cancer. Cancer's astrological symbol looks like 69. Cancer has gematria of 44, like chemo, like kill, like execution, like shooting. Did he even die from a shooting? I was like reading several stories. I was like, he was assassinated in his home. I'm like, okay, how was he? How come every story I'm reading, I'm sure there's one out there that says how he was died, but I scanned through like 4 or 5 of them today from the mainstream, and none of them pointed out how he was assassinated. He was assassinated in his home. Okay, was he poisoned? Was he shot? Was he stabbed? Was he suffocated? Was he hit with a bat? I mean, what happened? I'm sure eventually they'll tell, but maybe the story is still in development. Just got to get it rushed out by the numbers. And isn't it amazing how the word assassination equals the same as society at Jesus? Isn't it just strange how it's just all so perfect? Again, this is who's responsible for the language and the calendar and who's running the world with these tactics through all the centuries that they've been large and in charge as they've built their world dominance. Jesuits, known killers, known assassins. It's not like it's some bizarre accusation to accuse the Jesuits of assassination. It's a historical fact. Lincoln wrote his letter, June 8th, 1864. June 8th, 1864, about how there never would have been a civil war without the sinister Jesuits. And remember, Confederates got the same gematria as the Jesuit order. And they did a big ritual with that because the Confederate flag flew in D.C. at the Capitol insurrection 201 days after the Albert Pike statue came down, the only statue of a Confederate war general in D.C. Just happened to come down 201 days before the Capitol insurrection when the Jesuit order is 201. That's the biggest number with the Jesuits that we talk about. Well, 84 is there too. All these numbers are important, but man, the 201. Yeah, the MLK assassination, a major Jesuit ritual. And what day was the assassin arrested? June 13th, the day leaving 201 days left in the year. Port-au-Prince, Haiti, where he's dead, equals 95. Remember, the Jesuits were recognized by Rome on September 27th, 1540. The day leaving 95 days left in the year to counter the 95 Theses. Martin Luther was the leader of the Protestant Reformation. Martin Luther King Jr., the civil rights leader, assumed the name Martin Luther. He was born Michael. He assumed Martin Luther in tribute to the Protestant Reformation leader who opposed the Catholic Church. MLK was assassinated April 4th, 68, a leap year, the 95th day of the year. Martin Luther wrote the 95 Theses the Jesuits recognized on Rome, September 27th, the day leaving 95 days left in the year. Now Port-au-Prince, Haiti, 95, where this very clearly Jesuit ritual happened. And this whole 4 suspects are killed and 2 arrested. Remember, that's just the number put all over black history. You know, that's how a lot of the international world will see it. Man, that crazy black nation, they're just killing everybody there. Isn't that what they do when the poor black communities do? Just always kill each other? Again, this is the media programming and stereotype that so many people have, and a story like Haiti just reinforces that. And notice, all in the same cipher. Jackie 42, as in Jackie Robinson, who wore 42. Moses Walker 42, the real first black baseball player in white major league who played in 42 games. Huxtable 42, Cosby Show 42. For those of you who don't know, the Cosby Show, hit show. Really like America's first hit show about a black family. And it might even have been the first show. Don't quote me on that, but definitely first hit show and a major hit. Cosby, something that everybody watched. But the family name in that is Huxtable. Huxtable, Cosby Show 42, Martin 42, Malcolm X 42, Tuskegee 42, Slavery 42, Muhammad Ali 42. I mean, there's a lot more to this list. LeBron James 42, born on 12/30, 12 plus 30, 42. The same day Tiger Woods and Tyrese are all born. All major black stars. The only day of the year where you can have the day in the month that's 42, December 30th. Tiger, LeBron, Tyrese. If you spell his name with the accent on it, it's also 56, like Society of Jesus. But, yeah, with regards to the Jesuits in 95, again, just to make a point about that, Captain Tom, who died this year on February 2nd, remember what we talked about when he died. Not only did he die 201 days after being knighted on 17/7 in, England, a major Jesuit stronghold before they had U.S., but you see how the BBC emphasized unique, and that equals 33 like knight? He was knighted in this ritual. He died on the 33rd day of the year, February 2nd. England is also 33. Did I forget to put that in here? But what Captain Tom was remembered for was the Burma campaign, the military intervention in Burma. Remember what happened one day before he died, February 1st. The military overthrew the Burmese government, which became the big news story for about a month there, and then it went away. It's still going on, but now it's become a non-story. The military just runs the country, and the news isn't really covering it anymore. But it was February 1st that happened, and I predicted at the beginning of the year there'd be a big military war story this year with 21, War 21, Jesuit 21, Army 21. On 2/1, the Burmese military overthrows the Burmese government, and you look into that Burmese government, it was established on September 27th in history, the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome, the day leaving 95 days left in the year. And we said there'd be a big military 21 ritual because of the Jesuit influence in so many nations of the world, and the Jesuits consider themselves a military order. That's why they're doing rituals with Captain Tom, who's gone by the numbers after being knighted, a day after they have their coup in Burma. Because again, the same people that control this nation here in the U.S. and probably the nation you're in listening to right now, they also control Burma. This is the New World Order. The Jesuits claim to have military influence in 112 countries. That's a lot of countries. And that's been a claim for a long time. I suspect it's just a claim by the numbers. They probably have more influence than that. Catholicism's 112. And you see how